Hi, I'm Mike of Neil Left Dice, and welcome to How Not to Play Kerbal Space Program. Mission Egg Basket has lots of satellites which I want to put into orbit around Gilly, which is itself in orbit around Eve. I have stuffed up my orbital calculations. I do not have enough delta V to do everything I want, except I might. The original plan was to take all of the satellites into a circular orbit of Eve with the correct orbital inclination to go to Gilly, drop off the satellites, so the whole craft would get into that orbit, then all the satellites would drop, and they would each then be individually responsible for getting themselves from Eve's orbit to Gilly. But I then need to crash the whole craft. Not so much crash it, but get it into Eve's atmosphere. And I don't have enough delta V left to do that. However, I am hoping that if I drop off the satellites now, I can just go straight into an intercept orbit and get into Kerbin's atmosphere? Kerbin is a long way away. Get into Eve's atmosphere. So that's all I can really do at this point. That's that decouple. So that's all. Those decouples are all there. So I just want to. I can do this all at once. I suddenly realised. We just put the. I don't want to. The fairing. I don't want to decouple just yet. That's not going to be decoupling into that one. Yeah, I want those separate up here. I don't want those to go yet. That's fine. What I also want to do is I want to make sure that that's extended outwards. Because of the way that was set up, I folded that up against the the body of the craft, and so I now want to fold it out so when it ejects, it goes outwards and not forwards into the craft itself. So I'm going to try and point prograde if I can. It's a very big unwieldy thing because I always build really big unwieldy things. So I'm going to point prograde so they basically all go outwards as opposed to... actually, I don't know if that's a good idea now I think about it. But they've got to go somewhere. So the orbit should be still more or less correct. They're going to get a slight bit of... either plus or minus, normal. Where's the best angle to do this from? To look at this from? I think the sun. Yeah, the sun's directly behind, just to be annoying, but never mind. So I'm trying to find a place where I look. Yeah, that's probably going to do. So hopefully. I'm hoping I haven't done something utterly idiotic, and I think I have. Oh no, it's fine. I'm now focused on this craft because that was the core that I was using as my main core. So that's fine. So these are all escaping. I'm just going to quickly rename all these actually. This is actually Gilly Scan Multi. That's got the multi-scan on it. I'll put its panels out, seeing as I'm here. And I'll turn off SAS. Yeah, doesn't need SAS in a minute, but never mind. Put its panels out. And then rename it. Gilly Scan. Which one are you? You're high. So that's the high def radar scanner. Who are you? Your radar. So you also. I also need to make, if at all possible, make sure that's pointing towards the sun until such time as it's ready to go. Because this is a much smaller one that doesn't have extendable solar panels. Gilly Scan Radar. And your panel's already out. That's brilliant. You're facing side onto the sun, so you're going to get the most exposure. That's brilliant. Rename. Gilly Scan Resource. So now I've renamed everything. Oh, and actually no, I've got the landers to do as well. Where are your solar panels, mate? Oh, your solar panels are there. I want to point you towards the sun just in case. Where's the sun? Sun's that way. Cool. Where's your core? There's your core. Rename. Gilly Lander 1. Might as well make you a lander. Again, I want to point you towards the sun just in case. Just so it's got the most amount of, because again, I mean, this is my very, very cheap lander. So designed to, you know, rename vessels. Gilly Lander 2, and it's a lander. Yeah, so I want those two to, they're very small and cheap, so, well, they're not that cheap because they've actually got some fairly expensive bits of equipment on them, which you can't see because the sun's kind of not really shining on them. Anyway, so now hopefully this is going to be the ship as a whole. Everything else is just drifting away. So this is Mission Egg Basket without the eggs anymore. So let's go into map mode. So now what I want to do is that, how far right? So that node there I can get rid of because that's not helping anybody anymore. I need to. Is that engine active? Yes, that engine is active. Right. So now what I want to do is I want to change node 1. I just want to chuck in all the delta V that I've got and hope that that gets me inside. Oh, lordy lord. I do not have enough delta V to do this. Oh no, I've got more because I've dropped so many things. Oh, I've got enough delta V. Yes, because I've dropped all that weight, and so now I've got extra delta V. I was remembering having 1,100 delta V, but I've got actually more than that because I've dropped so much weight. So I'm going to go with 70. I mean, I don't know. So I do have a heat shield. I've got parachutes. I just don't know at this stage what a good landing velocity, a landing altitude is for Eve. Altitude. So I'm going to ask the gods. Arriving at Eve. Adjust your orbit path the way you want to land. Continue air braking to bleed off that extra. Ease atmosphere begins. Right, let's just, because I can always adjust it. Now that it turns out I've got enough, I can just adjust it from there, so long as, I'm going to go with 80, let's go with 70. Probably what I should do is think in terms of, you know, Kerbal goes, maybe not, because Kerbal goes to 70k, right? And if I want to land, I generally go to about 40k, 35k, about half the atmosphere. But Eve's atmosphere is hugely, it's like 5 times more dense than Kerbal's. So I think I'd rather play it safe. I do have a heat shield and all that kind of good stuff. So that should be fine. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through each of these craft. I'm going to make sure that, so each craft, activate the engine and maneuver node, whoops, add maneuver, periapsis, and I'm now going to make sure everyone's got a maneuver node that puts them in a circular-ish orbit. Now, so this is 500-ish of your delta V's, 550-ish meters per second delta V, but this has got 2,400, so that's fine and dandy. That's going to be plenty much. We'll add an alarm for that. I've suddenly realised I haven't added an alarm for the actual main craft, so I need to do that. So make sure that engine is active. Map mode, maneuver, add maneuver node, put that on the periapsis. I'm just going to chuck in 550 and see what that does. Oh, that would actually, what? Why is that one so different? That's weird. Because that's going, I'm going, oh, that's right, because it's minus 550. That's why. There you go, look at that. We'll adjust it from there. Yeah, that's close enough. And add alarm, which is not a keyboard, a button on my keyboard is in fact just a normal thing. So that is fine. Who's next? You're next. Activate engine. Maneuver node. Periapsis. Minus 550. That's possibly not going to work. There you go. And adjust from there. along. Do 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 do. Activate engine. Maneuver node. Again, I think I just have to sing the praises of Precise Node. Just being able to do things like this. So handy. Oh, it's changing the increment. That's no wonder nothing was happening. So little fiddly adjustments I don't really need to do, to be perfectly honest. I don't need the orbit to be as terribly wonderfully circular as I'm making them. But again, I'll still have 1,000 delta V left to get to Gilly, which should be fine. And quite frankly, even if I fail, I'll be losing out on a lot less science. It's going to be, I mean, I'm banking a lot on my Eve lander, to be perfectly honest. Rather more than I am on those resource satellites. The only one that I'll be particularly cross about messing up would be the Scansat radar, because that's the one that actually, if I can't get that to Eve, get to Gilly, that's actually a problem for completing the mission. That's interesting. That's going to be first. The little, you know, the changes in orbit are kind of interesting. Why? Yeah, some of these orbits are different in interesting ways, given how closely they started off together. And you're the last one, I think. Put that under periapsis. Minus 550. And then little adjustments. Whoop. Yeah, they're getting there before everything else. It's before the main mission launcher. That's interesting. And now you. Right, I'm just gonna get rid of that, and I'm gonna make a whole new. Because I can't remember if I had that right. It was probably about right, so that's fine then. So, okay, that is all that set up. So I've got a whole bunch of maneuvers to do. Look at that cloud of satellites. They're all kind of moving away from each other now. So that's what I'm going to do next time. I'm going to have to start going through these orbits. Oh, wow, some of them are going really, those are really soon. And they're all very close to one. Of course they are, because they're all in very similar orbits. So this is going to be a bit of a mess. But this is because I mucked up. I mucked up so much. I mean, I had to spend a whole bunch of Delta V to go the right way, the right way around, and do this and do that and the other thing. So that's going to be kind of entertaining, because each of these maneuvers are going to be taking a minute or so, and they're all within the same minute. So some of these aren't going to be as accurate as I would probably like, but that's life. And the thing is, yeah, I'm then going to have to get them around Gilly. That's going to be its own little entertaining thing. But that is for next time. So thanks very much for watching. Do hit like and subscribe if you've been enjoying these videos. Come join Nearly Enough Dice at nearlyenoughdice.com, and you can also find us on Facebook and Twitter. And until next time, reach the stars and try not to play the game like I do.